Hey everybody, Blake Smith here from Bassmasters, and we're here at the ICAST in Orlando 2024, and I've got some baits from Yamamoto that we really want you to see. So check it out. Number one is the new Nuki Bug from Yamamoto. It's got the same style base as the Yamamoto Nuki that you love, but the appendages of all the other crawfish style baits that Yamamoto has that you love already. A lot of action, good solid base, has a great fall rate. It's gonna really trigger some bigger bites. Next one is the shad-shaped swimmer. Say that 3 times fast and see what happens to you. But it's the shad-shaped worm with a new boot tail swim bait on there. It's got a lot of action. You can drop shot it, you can throw it on a swim bait head, whatever you want to do. Catches a lot of fish. Next one is the scope shad in 3 new colors. If you're a Bassmaster fan, you got to see me throw this a little bit for the past couple days at Lake St. Clair for the Bassmaster EQ series. Catches a lot of fish, but now we have it in 3 different colors offered here at the ICAST show for you to see for the very first time. So check it out here at ICAST 2024.
What's going on, guys? Tristan McCormick here. We're at ICAST on the water where you're in the Strike King booth. We'll give you guys a little bit of preview of what we have coming out here at ICAST. So right off the rip, we have the final copy, 2 different versions. Also, we have the brand new homing minnow. A bunch of new colors of our XD Elite crankbaits, gravel dogs, some new Salmo colors, bigger worms, bigger extensions of the rage tail. Bunch of goodies, guys, coming out here at ICAST. Make sure to come by and check them out. Strike in with us.
Hi, I'm Glenn Young with Z-Man Fishing Products. We're out here at the 2024 ICAST show on the water event. And we're gonna give you guys a quick tour of all the cool stuff that Z-Man's bringing out this year. So let's start with our new trailer for our chatterbaits called the Chatter Shad. And we're doing this in 2 sizes. So one of our more popular items is our Mini Max chatterbait. Profile, but we really didn't have a good trailer for it, so that's why we did the smaller size in the Chatter Shad now to match up with those smaller chatterbaits. Plus there's a lot of B.A.S.S stuff going on out there right now, so smaller is sometimes better, so we have that option now. And to go on that, we have, this is our new Tungsten Evo chatterbait. So we brought out the Elite Evo series last year. This year we're bringing out a Tungsten series. And the thing with Tungsten, if I put these are 2 same weights, one 3/8, the other one's 3/8. But you can see the difference in the head size. The Tungsten is much smaller than what the lead version is. And what that does, that it helps keep that bait down in the water column. So when you're retrieving it quickly, that small head keeps it down in the water column better than some of the other lead heads do. Also, because the higher density material doesn't quite absorb as much impact, you can feel that vibration a little bit more. You can feel it ticking off the rocks or structure sometimes more than what you might feel with lead. And also, this is actual tungsten. Some of the other ones that are on the market say they're tungsten, but it's actually a tungsten resin, which is not the same density as actual tungsten. So that's a big difference. We actually use real tungsten on these. So the vibration and the action and everything is significantly different than some of the other ones that are out there. And $15.99 retail isn't bad for a tungsten chatterbait. So the other thing we're doing now, we're very excited, is the Shadtron. So we do 2 sizes of the Shadtron, and we do it in 2 different fall rates too. So we do a fast sink and a slow sink, and a 4 and a 6 inch. So because when you're fishing swim baits, you don't want to base them on their weight as much as their rate of fall. So we did it so we have 2 different rates of fall, so you can pick out the best option whether you want to keep it up near the surface or fish it deeper. And we do these in 8 different finishes. They're beautiful finishes. And we have a very unique line tie system. So it's a line through swim bait, and you can kind of actually see the harness inside this one, inside the belly. What this does, you have 2 options. You can do the line through up top, and the nice thing about this is when you're fighting the fish, the slides up the leader. It's not being used as leverage to throw the hook out because it can't. Or if you want, you can also run the line through this hole down here and tie a treble hook on and clip that treble into this clip right here to hold it in place. So you don't have to like stab it into the body to hold it. That clip will hold it just fine. So that's what that clip is for. So you have a top hook option or a treble hook option. So you have both ways to do this thing. It's very unique. And the swimming action on the Shadtron is nice because that wedge tail doesn't make it kick really hard. It has a very subtle side-to-side little rolling body action on it. Very natural action on that. Then we're also very excited about this guy, the Graph Shads. So the Graph Shads There's this new thing out there called forward-facing sonar. Some of you might have heard of it. Kind of a big deal. But anyway, we wanted to develop a product that really lends itself to that style of fishing. So what we did is we came out with the graph shad. Everything about this is designed to return a signal. The head reflects the signal strongly. There's an air pocket inside that bait, so that air pocket also returns a signal. The scale pattern is designed to return a signal. Everything about this is designed to show up on a forward-facing sonar. The other thing that's very unique is the line tie. This is a line through jig head. The line tie is down here. So now when you run the line through here, tie to here, and there's a little protective sleeve in there too so the leader doesn't rub, this gives it a perfectly straight presentation every time. So the knot isn't sliding around in the eye or losing its orientation. It's always going to be perfectly horizontal in the water. And the tail design, we put this little fat portion on the bottom so that even if you're dead sticking, it's always going to move. It forces it to quiver no matter what. You can't hold it still. So there's a lot of features in that bait that lend itself to that forward fishing sonar. And even if you're not fishing forward facing, it's just a good little bait by itself. We have a new little drop shot bait called the Drop Kickers. We'd call it a drop kicker. It's got a kicking tail on it, but it's also a really good little drop shot bait. So you can use this as a drop shot bait. When you're drop shotting, and anytime you move it, it's going to make that tail kind of swim a little bit. Or you can use it on a little jig head like that and get some great little swimming action out of it. Very versatile bait. Good for Ned rigs, good for drop shotting, good for a little bit of anything, but just a really good little tiny bait fish profile. These are pretty cool. So these are the big ballers. So we came out with the baby ballers in our micro finesse lineup. So now we have the big ballers in a 4 and a 5-inch model. These have great action if you use it for a chatterbait trailer, but we designed them really to be fished on like a weighted ZWG hook. Keeps it balanced, fish kind of like a jerk bait, a soft plastic jerk bait, or as a surface bait. And the tail, with that ball on the end, what it does is it actually vibrates. It doesn't like swing back and forth a lot unless you really twitch it hard, but it vibrates and just quivers back behind the bait when you're bringing it through the water. Very, very cool little profile. Very versatile one as well. And then on the micro finesse side, we came out with two new micro finesse bodies. The little guppy grub, see a little ridge on the tail? That makes that tail move a lot more than just a standard curly tail. And then for the trout guys, we came out with the micro worm. So we've got that little worm body right there. For all those trout fishermen, crappie, panfish, anything, it's a killer little worm though, it really is. So we've got those. Then we came out with a new series of jig heads in the Eye Strike series. These use that new Mustad Alpha Point hook, and it's got the finish on there that doesn't corrode. So this one will eventually corrode, but it's like lasts 10 times longer than the black nickel finish does. So it holds up a lot better to saltwater, and the point lasts a lot longer. It's a much harder point on there. So it kind of gives us a version of an Eye Strike jig, but with painted heads that we didn't have before. So we have different colored heads. We've got a superior hook on this. Really cool little saltwater hook. We also have the new TRD Fatty. So based on our 5-inch Fatty's worm, this is our little TRD version of this guy right here. So it works good as a little drop shot bait or as a Ned rig bait, anything, but it's just a really cool little profile.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Joey told you, like
And that is pretty much the nuts and bolts of all the new stuff that we're bringing out this year. So it's a lot, but it's a lot of cool stuff because we wouldn't bring out anything if it wasn't. So anyway, I'm Glenn Young with Z-Man. I'm glad you joined us. You'll find all this stuff on the Z-Man website at zmanfishing.com, and we'll keep you posted on delivery dates for all this stuff.